So I've been asked to do a video on alleviating menstrual pains and just boosting the health of the uterus. I think there's a lot of things in Chinese medicine and in Qigong that women could make more use of, that should be more widespread and just be able to help a lot more women move through menstruation and other processes in life in an easier, pain-free way. Because in Chinese medicine, the menstruation isn't supposed to cause any pain or blood clots or cramps. These are all signs of different kinds of imbalances inside the body, and we can use acupuncture or qigong, self-massage, lots of different things, food therapy, to help free up this flow, and when that happens, there's no pain. In the West, I think menstruation is often seen as pain is part of the process, but that's not how it needs to be or should be. Just because it's common to have pain doesn't mean that it's normal. But that's great, that means we can do lots of things about it. In Nei Gong, the menstruation is a really cleansing process for the whole body and the emotions. So it's a time of the month where you get a chance to clear out all these things. So it's really good to make sure that you can rest a little bit more to make sure that the cleansing process can happen easier. It should be a harmonizing, settling experience when the body is in more balance. If you want to read more about how the menstruation clears out emotions and more effects of it, you can have a look in our book called Nei Gong for Women. There's lots of information in there and about syncing with the moon and how the moon affects the menstrual cycle as well. I'll put it in the description below in case anyone is interested and wants to find out more. So in Chinese medicine, there's different imbalances that can take place inside the body. They can cause obstruction in the uterus, like cold, for example. When we get too much cold in the body, that constricts things and stops things from flowing. When blood and qi isn't flowing as it should, that creates a buildup, and that stagnation creates pain. And there's always lots of different types of imbalances. So it's a really good idea to find a skilled acupuncturist, and they can help ascertain what's going on inside the body and help regulate that together with the things you can do, like taking care of your food and resting and breathing and eating well. And a couple of basic things that all women should know about, I think, is tampons and coils. They can cause a lot of blood and qi stagnation in the uterus. That's what it's called in Chinese medicine anyway. Because the coils and the tampons, they block that natural flow that should be taking place, but things get stuck and that build up again. Whenever there's any stagnation in Chinese medicine, that leads to pain. So I think it's important that all women are aware of that the coils particularly can be a cause of more cramps, pain, blood clots, and change in the flow and in the amount of the bleed as well. So you know what you can do to change the balance inside your body if you have a coil inside. And same with tampons. We tell women to avoid tampons as much as possible. I'm going to show some easy exercises in this video to help nourish and boost and also move some of the stagnation around here, because that can help alleviate pain and warm it and tonify the area so there's more energy. When there's more energy here, then there's more energy for the uterus and the other organs to carry out its function, and it becomes easier for the body and less pain, less draining. And these exercises are useful to do either if you are on your period or any other time of the month and you just want to boost the area, or if you're postmenopausal as well, because it just gives that extra energy to the uterus and the lower abdomen to help it function better. Okay, so we're going to do this sit down. So either sit down on the floor, get comfortable, or sit in a chair. We're just going to start with a short stretch. So just push your hands into the legs a little bit, move the upper body, just creating a little bit of movement and also increasing the space around this area. Breathe nice and deep into the abdomen. And stretch the arms forwards. If you're sitting on a chair, just lay the body forwards over your legs. And when you're forwards, let your breath descend deep into the abdomen, deep into the back. And just relax on the out breath. Lengthen your arms a little bit more forwards if you can, small movements. And just breathe, just relax. And we're going to come up, lengthen up. And we're going to turn the body over towards one side a little bit. Breathe nice and deep. Just let this lower part of the back open up. And on the other side. On the out breath, just relax. Really let the breath descend as far deep down as you can. And come back into the center. And we're going to interlock fingers and we're going to stretch up towards both sides, creating more space inside the torso and inside the back, inside the abdomen. And down, place one hand onto the floor, lengthen one hand over, reach over to the side. One last deep breath. And relax. And over to the other side, lengthen. Feel that nice stretch through the side of the abdomen and the lower back. One last deep breath. Into the center. And we're just going to settle into our body a little bit. So close the eyes. And just take a few nice deep breaths. Forget about everything else. Just be here now with your body. I'm just going to keep the awareness listening to the whole body. And just breathe. And you can sit like this for a few minutes if you wish. And we're going to see if we can warm up the hands if they're cold. If you're someone who constantly have cold hands, then try to warm them up under some hot water on the tap, or also to help sort that permanently inside the body. You can also do hot foot baths for like 15 minutes every other day for a period of time, and that will help warm up your insides and also really warm up this area if you struggle with cold here. It's really good. We place them onto the lower abdomen, and we have the thumbs and the index finger touching, so form like a triangle on the lower abdomen. And then we close the eyes again, and now we're just going to place the awareness just underneath the palms. And we're going to listen to the heat radiating from the palms in towards the lower abdomen. So it's really important that the whole palms touch the floor, and particularly Nei Gong, because this is where a lot of heat comes out from the palms. So just keep the eyes closed, just breathe. Keep the awareness underneath the palms. Try to keep the mind as steady as you can. You don't want it wandering off on other things. The more steady your mind is and the more active your energy system is, obviously the more effect you will get from these exercises. But I think because we're just creating heat from the abdomen, and we're going to add a little bit of movement soon, I think you'll still be able to get quite a lot of benefits from these exercises, even if you haven't done a lot of Qigong or Nei Gong. Just keep listening to that warmth. And if you do this in your own time, you can sit here for 5 or 10 minutes or longer, however long you want. And you really want to feel that heat building up, the warmth spreading. That'll help tonify this whole area and just give a boost to the uterus and the other organs in this area, and also the lower energy center called the lower dantian. And once you've sat here for a while and started to feel the effect of that, then we're going to start to make small circles on the lower abdomen. You can do this part either sat up or lying down. So now we're also creating a stirring movement of the energy inside the abdomen. Really keep the palms on the lower abdomen. And we listen to the space just below the palms. So this really helps move any stagnation of qi and blood in the area. Help free up aches and pains. And just breathe nice and deep. The more we can keep the mind steady on the task, the more energy will gather. And you'll also find that these exercises are very energizing. Feel very boosting and nourishing. And then circle the other direction. And you want to stay with the circling for a couple of minutes or longer if you have time. If it feels good and your mind is steady listening, you'll probably find that you want to stay with it for longer. Keep that whole palm touching the abdomen. Listen inside. You probably feel some warmth building up. This is another reason why we really want to avoid eating cold stuff during the period as well. Because when we eat the cold stuff, that comes in, and the cold constricts the energy, and that, as you know, creates stagnation, and that creates also pain. And also, we want to keep this energy down here, the energy field here, nice and strong and warm. When we eat cold stuff, that cools it down. So the functioning and the energy levels of this area goes down, and then the functioning of the uterus and the other organs also becomes less efficient. And then just pause with the hands still on the abdomen for a few breaths. Make that nice triangle shape. Hold palms flat on the abdomen. Breathe. And then we're going to rub the palms together, create a little bit more heat, stimulate the energy in the hands. And we're going to place them on the back, around where the kidneys are. We're going to make small circles, letting warmth and energy spread into this area. And rub the palms one more time. Place them around the back, close the eyes, just breathe. And just listen to the space just underneath the palms. Just let it nourish you. One more time. In Chinese medicine, the kidneys are in charge of your energy levels. So when these are nice and strong and healthy, you tend to have a lot of energy, and the body regulates warmth and coolness well in the body. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that session of self-massage. I certainly did. I feel nice and warm and like I have more energy than when I started this session. So remember, if you're on your period, if it's possible, take a little bit extra time to rest, to let the body go through that cleansing process. And if you're someone who tends to get back pain, then things like having hot baths are really good because that gives more warmth, more energy to this area. Because the back pain shows that the energy around the back of the body that's involved in the menstruation process in Chinese medicine is a little bit weak. And if we add heat and warmth, that gives more energy, and then the processes inside the body and the organs can function better. I hope some of that information was useful to you and you got some tools that you can use to go through the menstruation easier, or just boost yourself and get the energy nice and strong so you can feel better. Thank you.